Hey guys, what's going on? So it's Not Your Average Joe here. Just doing a video for both my Not Your Average Joe and my Not Your Average Keto channel, because this video here is just going to be a little bit of a breakdown of my testimony. So one thing I ask, with all my videos to try to get the word out there is I'm making these channels kind of just as help for people. There's no other goal in mind for myself other than to try to get the word out, try to be as basic as possible, as layman's terms as possible, not try to overkill anything, try to get too in depth, try to get too technical, but just try to give people help with keto, give people help with day-to-day life and things that I've learned through my life and sobriety and keto journey and just life in general, anxiety, stress, depression, but things that could just help you out. So I just ask that you subscribe to my channels, hit that bell icon, and that way when I make other videos, you'll get notified to let you know that, hey, Joe made another video. Also, do a lot of sharing, share them on Facebook, share them on Twitter, share them on any other social media that you may have. That way, you may be able to help when your friends and family members or coworkers or whatever with some of these videos. A lot of people are interested in keto. A lot of people are interested in recovery. Definitely a lot of people are interested in motivational videos. I'm one that watches a lot of Jay Shetty videos. I think he's a great speaker and a great person, and he's just got a lot of great things to say that can help people in day-to-day life. So I'm just kind of trying to spin off that and give my own take on things. So a little bit of my background with the recovery is 7 years ago, just about, I got sober. Decided to make a change in my life. My marriage was kind of on its way out. Definitely had a lot of demons going through my life and just running rampant in my mind. Definitely came close to suicide at a point in my life. Definitely didn't feel like my life was really going anywhere. I had done a lot of things in life to try to figure out where my life was meant to be. Joined the military for a few years and ended up getting out early on that. Couldn't handle being away from my family. It definitely overwhelmed me, and that was a low, dark time in my life. But then got married, and within the first year, definitely had a lot of things come to fruition of things that I was doing and with alcohol, and just my mind wasn't all there. My wife didn't realize that my alcohol was that big of a problem, but then she started to see instances of different parties and gatherings and cookouts where I would get belligerent. I wasn't a Monday through Friday drinker. I was definitely a weekend warrior, I guess, as some people would say. But when I drank, it didn't stop until the night was over. I was definitely not one of those people that could really go out to dinner much and have a glass of wine or a beer or two and call it a day. I was the guy who, me and my wife would get a pitcher of sangria and I'd have one or two glasses. She'd have about a half a glass, and I'd make sure the pitcher was gone and the rest of her glass. Because in my mind, I thought, what a waste of money, what a waste of alcohol. Why would you pay for that and let it go down the drain? That should have been a sign to me in the beginning of drinking that I had a problem. I come from a father who had a lot of issues with alcohol. Definitely have some family members that have struggled with alcohol and drugs, and just kind of should have seen those signs. Definitely didn't. Ended up coming to a very low point in my life where I thought I was going to lose my wife, lose my family. A lot of people had backed off. So I decided to make a change, and make a change I did. I decided to join AA and get sober. And I started to apply those principles to my life. AA is a 12-step program and teaches you a lot of things in those steps. I made a lot of great friends, got a lot of great mentors through that. Had a couple great sponsors even that taught me a lot of things that I didn't realize I was going through in life that other people had gone through. One thing that I definitely did not realize was, that a lot of the things that happened in my childhood were things that ran rampant in my mind. Didn't know it because I had stuffed them down and buried them and couldn't deal with them on a day-to-day basis. And the alcohol was kind of just making those things go away and make me not think of them. So when it came to tough times in life, I just would do the same thing and drink it or to forget about them. So this went on for some years of getting sober and relapsing and getting sober and relapsing until that one day came 7 years ago where I decided it was over. I was done. Either I was going to quit alcohol or my life was going to quit underneath me. Definitely committed myself to AA, got myself some counseling on the side outside of that with a therapist, and decided to join church and find a God of my understanding and apply that into my life and allow Jesus in my life. That was one of the most important decisions I ever made in my life. This channel is not to promote Christianity. This channel is not to point everybody towards religion or anything like that. I'm a very, very spiritual man, but I'm not here to try to push that on anybody. I'm just trying to give you examples of what helped me in my life. If some of that ends up being what helps you in your life, then that's great and that's awesome. And congrats and kudos to you because it's helped me. But I'm not here to promote that. I am just here to kind of give advice of what has helped me. Made a lot of great friends. A lot of my church friends are literally like family to me. I can call any of them from back in Rhode Island in like 5 minutes and they'll answer if I needed them to. But I just kind of take some of these things and, over time, I dedicated myself to sobriety and said, I'm not going to allow myself to live a life in that darkness anymore. I want to live a life where I look at things and have respect for them, have a respect for my life, love myself. Never before sobriety could I ever say that I loved myself. I can definitely say today that, I love who I am and I love the drive that I have and I love the things that I do and I love helping people with the knowledge that I have. That's what my channels are here to do on YouTube, is just to help people. I've helped people in my sobriety to get sober. I've helped people to find a better way of life, and that's probably the biggest reward. There's no money out there that could give me, no amount of money that could be in my pocket that could give me a better feeling than seeing somebody that comes into my life get sober because of the things that I've taught them and help point them down that road. That's the greatest reward in life, is to be able to help people down that. I know what that dark road can be like. I know what that feeling can be of loneliness and insecurity. And when you take advantage of that and you attack that and you say, I'm not going to be there no more, it's a great feeling to get out of. So because of that 7 years of sobriety, I had a real good dedication and drive, especially having a little bit of a military background, to dedicate myself and say, if I can quit drugs, alcohol, and all these other things in my life, why can't I lose weight and dedicate my mind to it? I've tried many times and failed. Well, I tried many times to get sober and failed, but that didn't stop me. So I didn't allow weight loss to stop me either, being healthy. I was on 3 blood pressure pills, a cholesterol pill, and a pre-diabetic pill. I think now was the time to make a change in my life for that, to remove these pills and the bad side effects that could happen from them from my life. So me and my wife looked into this keto thing, and at first we were kind of, speculating on if it was good or not. But she read that one thing that it was known for, that not many diets out there are known for, is it can raise your good cholesterol, HDL. It has been known in studies on keto that it will raise your HDL over time. I have a very low HDL due to the fact that my family genetics have heart disease and in my family, so my HDL has always been low. My LDL has not been that bad. It's actually been at a pretty good level. So because of this, we tried keto. And at first, I'm not gonna lie, really thought a month or two I'll lose some weight. Won't be able to survive this way, not having carbs, not being able to have potato chips and chocolate and candy and all these things, and I will not survive on this. It will not work. But there was something this time with keto that I loved, and it was, I can eat meat, I can have bacon, I can have these vegetables, I can even have berries. Berries, I've always loved berries. I've always been a fan of blackberries and blueberries, so when I have sweet cravings, there's just sweets you can have. It's not something you can have the whole pint of blueberries, but having a handful of them, yeah, absolutely, you can have that on keto. And you just doing different things and doing our own Google searches and watching YouTube videos between different people like Dr. Berry and Dr. Berg and Thomas DeLauer and Keto Connect. We watched a lot of these different YouTube channels and did a lot of our own research on Google of finding recipes, typing in keto, pizza, recipe. Boom, we found fathead dough pizza, something you can have that's made of almond flour and mozzarella cheese for the dough, and then you can make pizza on it. You just get a low-carb sauce, or just use tomato paste in the beginning because it's very low in carbs and use very little for sauce. It's just a couple of things like that we learned that, wow, we can still enjoy life. We can still have great things. Another example is Sargento thins. We would cut them in fours, put them in the oven for a little bit with a little paprika on them, and boom, you had Cheez-Its. And it's just these little things that we would find out by doing our own Google searches and joining different Facebook groups, and which is another thing I will be starting for Not Your Average Keto as a Facebook group for, just for people to be able to join and find out more information for me to be able to share that with you guys. So we did this over time, and we started real small in the beginning and just wanted to make it to where we were meeting the macro count. Now, to find your macro count, you can download apps like MyFitnessPal, but I really like Carb Manager. Carb Manager, you can download for Apple or Android, and you type in your information with your weight, your height, and it will tell you what your macro count is for the day. Macros is not something that you need to stick to by stone once you get used to keto, but in the very beginning, it's kind of like a Weight Watchers thing where you keep your point count, right? So in keto, you keep your macro count. So you want to keep below that fat and protein count. Of course, keep yourself below that carb count, as low as possible for the carb count. And you just keep yourself within that window. You want to come to as close as possible to the fat and protein numbers as you can. And the carb count, it's net carbs. Net carbs are the carbs minus the fiber and the sugar alcohols, and that's your net carb count. Try to stay away from things that have sugar, and like sodas and chips and breads and pastas and rice. Do that in the beginning. Just stay away from those things. Don't worry about all the little tiny things you're going to hear about keto and all these little fine things about like aspartame and sucralose and all these things. Just concentrate on your numbers at first. You can worry about all those other things later on as you fine tune and as you start to plateau with weight and you're not losing. You can kind of look into that a little bit more. But in the beginning, just concentrate on meeting your numbers. These are things we learned in the beginning, and you just got to be patient. Start small. Don't overthink it. Don't put stress and anxiety on yourself, but have fun. Do a lot of planning. We did a lot of planning. What I would do is go shopping on the weekend for food and pretty much buy the food for 5 or 6 meals for the week. And that way we had a plan of what our dinners were every single day, what we could have for lunches every day, what we could make for breakfast every single day. And we just kind of took these things and put them together. We literally said, let's just keep it basic for the beginning. Let's have fun with it. Let's enjoy it. And then as things got boring or we would get sick of different things, we just added new recipes in our new foods and tried different things. We would look up on Amazon and search keto things on Amazon to find different foods we could buy and have through Amazon for keto, for snacks or just added foods to meals. You'll find over time with keto, snacking in between meals is not the best thing. You want to try to keep your meals as a meal and fast in between meals. So just have your meal, wait to eat till your next meal. So if you like those snacky foods, eat them with your meal. If you want to have like those chomp beef sticks or the F-bomb nut butters, those kinds of things, have them with your meal. Don't have them in between meals. You want to try to let your body process the fat in between meals. But don't worry about fasting too much. Just worry about meeting your numbers and eating your 3 meals a day if that's what it takes for you. And then over time, after for a few weeks and you start to get comfortable with that, then maybe skip breakfast for a day and go for like a 16-hour fast and eat just lunch and dinner. And do that maybe every other day or 2 or 3 times a week or something. And you'll notice the benefits from it. One thing on keto is, yes, you want to lose weight. We are all here to lose weight, but measure yourself. Maybe take some measurements. Measure your waist, your hips, your neck, your arms, your chest. Measure these things. Write them down in the very beginning. I guarantee you, if you try keto for 2 weeks and you follow those macros for 2 weeks, those numbers will change like significantly in the first 2 weeks. Drink a lot of water. One thing about keto is you can get dehydrated. So you want to drink probably about half your weight in water in ounces. So if you weigh, say I started at 265 pounds, I try to have 130 ounces of water every day. I know it's not the easiest thing, but it will help keep you full. It'll actually make you so full when you go to eat, you're not going to want to eat as much. There's a lot of different things out there. I got sick of water, so I would add lemons in my water, add lemon juice into my water. I even still drink Gatorade Zero. It has sucralose in it, liquid sucralose. It's not the best thing for keto, but it's a better alternative than having regular Gatorade that has probably 50 grams of carbs in it. You probably have as much sugar in regular Gatorade as you do in Coca-Cola. So you get the Zero, it's a better benefit, okay? And there are energy drinks if you're a big energy drink person. There is Monsters that have no carbs. You can have those kinds of things. You just want to keep your carb count as low as possible and try to keep your fat and protein up to where you're meeting your numbers for your weight. Don't overthink it. Just keep it basic. I will do more videos to kind of give you a little bit of details on how definitively we came down to finding out different things about sucralose and Splenda and stevia and erythritol, and different videos about those things and what the benefits are of some of them and what the not so good things are about some of them. And I'll probably even do some videos about Carb Manager, give you a little bit more definitive tips and details about Carb Manager and how you can kind of manipulate things to make them work better for you in the beginning to maximize your weight loss and also maximize the amount of food you can have that you'll fulfill yourself so you're not feeling like you're starving. One big tip real quick is you're not starving during fasting. Your body is actually feeding off the excess fat on your body, so you would never starve yourself. The world record of fasting is actually 366 days, so you can go quite a while without eating before you would ever starve yourself. But take advantage of keto. Keto is a great thing out there. It's gotten me off of all 3 blood pressure pills, off my statin pill, and off my pre-diabetic pill in less than a year. I've lost 65 pounds plus on this. My wife has lost around 50 pounds on keto. So it works. But start small. Don't overthink it. Don't overstress it. And just keep ketoing on. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel. And don't forget to hit that bell icon. That way next time I make a video and post it, you guys will be notified. Thanks a lot. And keep following me here on Not Your Average Keto, Not Your Average Joe. You guys, God bless. Take care.